Hello, everyone. I just forced Cannon to shove a whole dessert in his face like super quickly, so I'm proud of myself. But we're back from break. We are back and we are ready to get going on this grand adventure of spacemen not in space anymore and being out of sorts. Wreckage, take it away.
All right. So you guys were waiting at the meeting point for everyone to get there. Too many hours pass. You are both at the point where your character would think, "Oh, it's been too many hours." So that can be whatever amount of time you feel it would be. But the point is,
Yeah.
Caswell hasn't shown up. Gifka certainly hasn't shown up. Caswell definitely should have. He was very close. Caswell, you're wondering why it's taking you so long to get to the river, which should only have been not very far away.
I suppose at this point I should probably re-enable my GPS and look where the hell I am.
Okay, so after a few hours, it occurs to you, I probably should have gotten there by now.
Hang on, before all this sort of happened, I guess within the time span, like, is there any sort of roles I can make to sort of cut off my data pad from the other data pads but still be able to access information put out by other data pads?
Well, that would be a very difficult programming role.
Well, I've got hours upon hours of time.
Yeah, but it's not something that you will just eventually do if you have time. It's something that requires an amount of skill.
Okay.
And then if you have that amount of skill, you will do it in very much no time at all.
Okay, well, I want to make at least one check to see if I can get it to work.
Okay.
If that's alright with you, Rickard.
Yeah, it's definitely fine with me.
Because ideally, if the scenario goes ahead the way that it is, then when Caswell pops up, we should be able to find him.
So what I'll say,
9.
it doesn't matter. I was gonna say you can take your time and that'll give you a +2, but that is not a sufficient roll even with the +2.
No, it'd be an 11.
Right.
It was, yeah.
With your 11, you suspect it's possible, but it's just out of your breath. Breath. That's where I want.
I turned to Cannon. I'm like, "Do you know programming by any chance?"
I'm down the beach a ways.
I will find you then.
Did they yell at me?
No, I'll just walk up to you.
Yeah, you scare me a little bit.
I smile again.
Do you need something?
Yes, I was hoping that you might know programming by chance.
I'll take the thing. And what are you looking to do?
Basically, I wish to disconnect this particular data pad from the network of all the other current data pads within the within the evacuation pods, and I wish to be able to access their output still, but remain anonymous myself.
Let me see. I'll take it, and then I'll begin to pace, but I'll walk away, and I'll walk about halfway back, and then I'll walk a long distance away, and I'll walk halfway back again.
Oh my god.
I will stand there and I'll just observe him while he's doing this.
14.
All right. I will also say that you get +2 for
Okay.
how much time you take. You do not succeed, but
Even
you
with
are.
the 16? That's weird.
No, that's an 18.
Oh,
or
damn,
that's
okay. Yeah, that's
That's like an 18-20 roll. Because you're trying to maintain a flow of information with the other things, but only one way. So you're removing yourself from the network, but still being on the network, but not in a way that someone can tell that you're on the network, and blocking yourself. It's incredibly complicated what you're trying to do, especially for something that was never intended to do that sort of thing. So yeah, you with your 16 are certain that it's possible, and you even know the things that need to be done. But you can't do them yourself.
Okay.
You could perhaps, if you workshopped with someone else that had higher programming, you might be able to be like, look, I know that I need to do this and this. I just don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So
well,
basically, you have information for how to do it for later.
I imagine this takes a little bit of time, or I spend some time doing that.
This basically is what you guys did up until the point where you're like, oh, now it's been way too long.
Yeah. Well, I imagine I come back and find him, and I say, hey, Toots Magoots, I don't suppose you happen to have a.
But
That's
you already
fascinating.
knew that.
I did. I don't suppose you happen to have a cigarette on you.
Unfortunately, I am not known for smoking.
Oh, okay. Well, your rasp would indicate otherwise. I just thought.
My rasp is a part of my...
Physiology.
My
Yes.
mistake. Pay it no mind. Don't you think I could not figure this out, and I frisbee him the data pad?
I catch it in my mouth and wag my tail.
I don't. Shouldn't somebody else have come found us by now?
Indeed, you are correct. It seems that the other party, the other members of our Forsaken Party, it seems, have stumbled and lost their way within the jungle. Perhaps we should go find them.
Right.
Well,
so
let's-
now we
let's,
can go back to Caswell real quick because Caswell wanted to do some things. You wanted to turn your GPS back on and see where you were.
Right.
So we are going to resolve that. You turn your GPS. You don't need to roll to turn your GPS back on because you already rolled to figure out how to turn it on in the first place.
Right.
So you can find yourself, and you are here. I'm doing it in a new color.
God damn it.
Oh, green.
Let me change back to the map so everyone can see this. He's the green dot, basically.
Oh, you mean the same color as the grass? Got it.
Yeah, he's that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I see him.
God damn it.
You can even see on the GPS it recorded your position while it was off. I mean, it's essentially just like you just fucking did circles for hours.
I just cut. I do this motion literally.
See, I'm assuming mine's like a circle and then a straight line.
Yeah.
But it also like updated the map recently as well, and there's just like a giant like fucking scar down the like jungle from where you were running. Yeah.
All
There
the
are
trees
fires
gone.
and
Oh god.
so yeah, I mean, you know where you are now. It's not the direction you wanted to head.
Yeah. I mean, can I well, since I have it up, I might as well see where everybody else is. And obviously I noticed that I can't see two people now, so I assume they met up by now.
You do see Gifka's in a new place.
Ooh,
Or
where?
you know Gifka is. And he's here, making another green on the map.
Oh,
I went so far.
you didn't go that far at all. I thought you would have been like further down by the fork of the thing or something like that. But no, you didn't go very far at all.
Well, would you like to see the data that shows his path?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
So he just
Please.
basically did. I mean, he did a bunch of squiggles, basically avoiding the river somehow. And then some amount of that straight line is his amazing run, and then the rest is probably him being led away by his mysterious captors that you know nothing about. However, you can... Jacob, give me an awareness roll.
Who?
I apologize, Caswell.
Oh, okay.
This is what happens when I have Skype open. I just read your names instead of...
You can rename people to have their character names, by the way. That's what I do.
It's on the roll 20. Caswell, I would
Yes.
like I would like you to zoom your map into 100%.
Oh boy. I'm probably zoomed in even more than that.
Okay, hold on a second. It's lagging.
How do you get to 100%? Like, does it tell you?
There's a little magnifying glass in the left hand, and the drop down, and it says what percent it is.
Oh, nice. I didn't even realize you could do that. Alright, yep.
Actually, I got it exactly 100%.
Good job.
Right where you see Gifka, please focus in on that part of the map.
Okay.
Your aerial photography, you notice when looking at the GPS for Gifka, in the photograph, you can clearly see from the aerial photo a campfire and some huts.
Oh man, holy shit. No kidding.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't see that earlier. Cool.
Hang on a minute. What else can we spy?
Are you metagaming now that some other character has noticed that there are things on the map?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, you shouldn't because your character hasn't noticed that.
That's alright.
Yeah.
That's alright. I'm just looking back at my character. That's all I'm doing.
Oh my god. I swear to God. Yep. Ooh. That. What the hell is this? What the hell is Gifter doing there?
Do you even know his
Oh.
name? Like,
What the hell?
No, well,
No, I
we
don't
can
think-
say that you, if you
Well,
want
he
to
might
say
I
that
heard-
you-
since I was working security
just-
for the ship that he was on, but
yeah.
And also, I think Canon
we
did
did
say
somewhat
his name.
hand wave the radio communication though.
Yeah, that's true.
so
he
we-
did say his
yeah.
name, so he would have
Okay.
been.
yeah, I did.
Okay. So yeah, you do know the name Gifka. That is, yeah. So, yeah, you see him there. He's on that part of the map. You know his name. His name is Gifka. You know where you are. You know the path you took. You know the path Gifka took. You don't see the two GPSs from Canon or Talios. What do you do now?
Well, shit. I need to head to the meeting spot still.
Curious. Does radio communication work if the GPS is off?
So you turned off your radios, all of you, for radio silence.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, radio silence doesn't mean turn it off. It's more like just don't use it.
Right.
Yeah.
So if he were to use his radio, perhaps other people with radios would hear it.
So,
But
So-
that is only if that is the thought that his character has.
I mean, I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't radio yet.
Okay.
I would just try and make my way to the spot again.
Okay. Well, so there's two things. You can make a survival roll if you want to turn off your equipment again to be silent. Or if you keep your equipment on, you can just go.
I just want to go. At this point, I've wasted so much time.
Okay, you can just go straight to the meeting spot without a survival roll using your live GPS feed sort of thing.
However, when I get to around here, I want to try and turn it off. I circled
Well,
it.
we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, if there's a bridge there.
Sure.
More
Let's,
like a fallen tree, probably.
we return now to Talios and Canon, because you guys were just about to decide what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we have now resolved that bit of... we've now resolved what Caswell's doing. So, what are you guys going to do?
Captain Cannon. Is it true that you knew the other Kaltoran that you pushed inside one of the pods? I assume that is one of the gentlemen that we're after.
Arguably, all Kaltorans know one another.
I have heard about this hybrid mind that you share. You don't have any way to speak to him telepathically?
Well, it doesn't really work that way.
Oh, that's a perfect cultural misunderstanding.
Hmm.
It
Plus
doesn't really
one.
work that way.
+1 something for being in character.
Alright.
+1 fate point.
+1 fate point? Are you fucking serious?
Not maximum. You just have another one to use. Because the way that it works is you have maximums that refresh per session, and
Okay.
you now have a bonus 1 for this session for
So-
being in character.
Okay, so do I have 2 now?
Yeah. You started with 1, unless because I know survival gives you 1 less.
Yeah, just 1 less at the start. Yeah.
Okay, so you had 1. You now have 2. You won't have 2 next session.
Okay.
You've gained 1 this session for playing in character in a pleasing way. Congratulations.
Fantastic.
The only thing I can think of, I mean, it's a big island as far as I can tell. So there's no guarantee that if we move from the spot, they're going to be able to find us at all, or we're going to find them.
Maybe you should put out that call once more.
So
I mean, this spot here was actually transmuted across the telecommunications network that we have set up temporarily. If anything, they already know our location. I can't see the
Okay.
harm in 1 more call to work out what has happened to the other party members.
all right, I'll flip on the talking box,
The old squawking
call it
box, you know?
as the kids call it, and I'll say, anybody out there, Caswell, Gifka, anybody out there, come in. We're still waiting. Any reports? Any trouble? Do you need help?
Sit rap.
I'm going to reply and say, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I got a little lost. I ended up getting a little lost. I turned off my GPS, so
I smirk at this like this.
Are you
Radio's
in?
off.
Are you in? Are you captured? Say
No,
say the code phrase testicle if you need help.
no, I am not captured. I am currently fine. I'm making my way towards the meeting point.
Okay, we'll be here.
All
Is
right.
your radio off, Gifka? Like, did you physically turn it off?
Yeah, radio silence. Yeah, I turned
Radio
everything
well,
off.
as
Well-
Talios argued, radio silence just means don't use them. Doesn't necessarily mean
Yeah.
turning them off.
I specifically said that I turned mine off, though. So
You
yeah.
did.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yours is specifically turned off. That is fine.
Okay, what about like a message log on these things? Do they record?
That would possibly be something that you can record, or not record, recover
Okay.
through effort, much like you could recover telemetry.
What I'm saying is, does it like have like a blinking light that says like, "Oh, you've missed 1 conversation on FaceTime"?
No, it's just supposed to be a. I mean, it's an advanced radio, but it's more of a walkie-talkie than a Skype messaging system.
I mean,
are,
like-
are we
Yeah, go on.
are we getting any indication that anybody else survived?
No. So far, no one else has come through over radios. You've not seen any. Well, if you're Caswell, you haven't seen any other GPSs move other than the ones that you are already aware of.
I
That's-
turn to Ken and say, "Ask him if he knows anything at all about the other one."
Caswell,
is he
brother,
lost?
do you know anything about Gifka? Have you heard any word?
I have not heard anything from him, but his GPS has moved to his GPS has barely moved to the east, but it seems that where it is, I can see a campfire, and I guess I can I will give them the coordinates of where of where he is.
So he gives you the longitude and latitude of the
Yeah.
somewhat from the air visible village on the map.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Right.
Kill them all.
Would okay, well, Caswell, just get to the river and we'll go find we'll go wrangle up everybody that survived together.
Gotcha. And I guess I just start making my way again. Or I guess I am
Okay.
this whole time.
You start making your way again to them. Meanwhile, with Gifka,
Giffy.
everyone's excited to find out how his head is shrunken and eaten.
How many natives has he had sex with since he's been there?
They're all Praegers,
Oh, damn.
even the men. Roll for virility.
Oh, yeah.
So they lead you through the jungle
Legions
for a
can't
little.
have babies.
Okay. All right. They lead you through the jungle for some period of time. There
Is he like
is-
hung up on like a stick and they're carrying between two dudes?
No,
sort of
as I described before, the bulk of the group is walking ahead of him, and the exceptionally large legion with the spear is walking behind him with the spear sort of at his back.
thing? Okay. I'm just
Did
making
they
jokes.
take my
Tell me to
sword,
stop.
or do I still have
No, actually, they didn't frisk you or take anything from you.
Okay.
They seem to believe that you aren't really a threat to them with their numbers and in the sort of tactical position that they have you in.
Okay.
And you would know just from your own tactical training that, for example, running would probably not work out.
Yeah.
And turning to fight probably would not work out because this guy looks like he could snap you like a toothpick. Even
A
though
space
you're
toothpick. Jeez.
even though you're incredibly Shia LaBeouf, with your boofy muscles and your swole.
Well, if he's Shia LaBeouf, that means he can just swing through the trees with all the monkeys, right?
What? I'm not aware of any movie like that.
Nothing exists in that franchise that does that. What are you talking about?
Okay, I'll just stay quiet unless directly spoken to then.
Right. They will not directly speak to you yet. They lead you through the jungle for a while. They take a mostly straight line. And after some time, you see the girl at the front who was leading the pack. She sort of runs off. She sort of picks up in speed and dashes off. And just immediately following that, you sort of enter. Not really it's not a clearing to the sky, but the underbrush is gone, and suddenly you find yourself in a makeshift village.
You got a village soundtrack you can play? Is there
No.
like people on drums on the corner or something like that, giving it a real sort of jungly vibe?
No.
Damn it.
There.
Come on,
Sorry.
get it together.
Yeah. Where's the Jungle Book soundtrack, you know?
Unfortunately, they aren't actually playing drums in the corner or anything like that. So even if I found such a soundtrack at a moment's notice, it would be disingenuous to play it for you. It is a quiet village with the same amount of bug-like noises that you would typically hear or have been hearing in this particular jungle. You can see that the village itself is largely bits of wood, but there's also metal scrap involved. Metal scrap that appears to originally be from spaceships, and you're familiar. You especially notice that some of the huts aren't wood at all. They are older model escape pods of various kinds and flavors.
This one's purple flavor. This one's bubblegum.
There's an especially large escape pod thing that the village seems to have been built around. It lies not in the center so much, but the rest of the village is sort of like a horseshoe, and it would be in the end of the horseshoe. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas the center is a big fire, where a makeshift pot has been set up, and they likely cook large stew-like things in to
Okay.
feed.
Like
I've seen this cartoon
Like
before.
legions.
like legions, yeah.
The pot's probably not that big.
Would you like a hot bath, Mr. Legion? Ah, yes, please. Do you mind if I put some carrots in here for your skin?
No, I prefer cool.
Let's do a Looney Tunes campaign.
Oh my god, yes.
I wouldn't even know how. There's probably someone who's done a system for it at some point.
Meep, meep, motherfucker. I would roadrunner that shit so hard. Anyway,
So the group in front sort of splits off, and it's at this time that you notice that several of them have nets or sacks that are filled with forageables, roots, tubers, berries, fruits, etc.
No animals.
No animals that you've seen, and they sort of go off and do their whatever thing that they sort of return to their own personal huts, bring their food to their families, or start to pile that haul, so to speak, in the communal pot.